Hello and welcome to my kitchen. This class is all about tofu, but first we're going to make a sauce that not only can we use with tofu, but we can use in any kind of stir fry. If you're like me, I get tired of pulling everything out of the cupboard every time I want to make a stir fry, and you can make this sauce and it lives in the fridge for weeks. I'm trying to pay attention to the amounts of ingredients, which is not really what I normally do, but I've chopped up in advance. Let's say this is 2 tablespoons of ginger, 1 tablespoon of garlic, so maybe half the amount of garlic to ginger, and a little bit of chili, and that depends on your flavour. About a cup of ketchup mayonnaise, about a cup of soy sauce, mirin seasoning, 2 tablespoons, 1 tablespoon of sesame oil. I've got 4 kaffir lime leaves, but you could also use lemongrass. I'm also going to squeeze half a lime in there and actually leave the lime in the pot. This is now going to go on the stove on a low heat for about 20 minutes, just until the garlic and the ginger cook a little bit and the flavour is all absorbed with the liquid. So let's get to the tofu. There's a lot of dreadful ways to eat tofu, but tofu cooked well is fantastic. The easiest tofu to start with if you're new to tofu is the firm tofu. It just holds together a little bit better. Now, one of the things that we need to do with the tofu is to dry it a little bit. 2 bits of paper towel. There's all sorts of really fancy ways you could do this, but otherwise you could just wrap it up, pat it down. You know, you could put your chopping board on and a few bricks or a few books, but really, you could just leave it there for a while we get the other things ready. Okay, so you'll need a container, longer rather than deeper. You need corn flour and salt and pepper. Let's get your container and fill the bottom with corn flour. The salt is important. You want it to be salty. So let's say 2 teaspoons. A lot of pepper. Very technical. Very technical measurements. It'd be good if you took the lid off. Okay, grind the pepper until you can't be bothered to grind anymore. The peppery flavour and the salt, as you know, is just delicious. And once you mix that, you want to be able to see the pepper between the corn flour, and that'll let you know that you've got enough. Put the lid on and shake it around. I'm looking at that and I can't see the pepper, so I'm going to have another go. And I'm sure that's going to be enough. Yeah, I can see that a bit better now. Okay, corn flour, salt and pepper. Tofu has been patted dry, and now you're going to cut the tofu into cubes. 1 centimetre. Let's start with 1 centimetre slices all the way along the block. We're going to cut those in half. And then again, let's go with our 1 centimetre. Of course, you can do it bigger or smaller if you want. And sprinkle that into your corn flour. We don't want to put too many pieces at the one time because it'll be hard to coat. But let's go about half the block. Put the lid on. Now we can shake it around. It's good to have quite a lot more flour than you need because the tofu will absorb it and then you'll want to shake it around again. In the meantime, don't let your sauce boil over. Let's have it simmering really slowly. It smells delicious. Okay, so I've got half a block of tofu ready to fry up, coated in corn flour. You'll need some extra paper towels once you've fried the tofu. So let's take 2. So our sauce is still bubbling on the side. The tofu, I've shaken it once, but actually it needs another. It's a bit messy. I'm going to give it another shake because it's absorbed that first lot of flour. Okay, we're going to put some oil in a pan. Now for frying, I often use sunflower oil or olive oil. Sunflower oil cooks a little bit hotter, but that's absolutely up to you. And let's put this in hot oil. So I've still got leftover flour. I'll cut the rest of the tofu and put it in there, and that will keep in the fridge for a day or so, because it's always nicer to eat the tofu when it's just been cooked. So now we're waiting till it turns brown, and then we'll very carefully toss it. So tofu cooked like this is something that you could eat on its own as a snack. You could add it at the end of any kind of Asian stir fry, or you could have it as a meal with some steamed rice and a stir fry of greens on the side. So that'd be 3 different lovely things to have together. So it's starting to brown up a little bit now. Now the tofu is almost ready, so I'm going to get a little bit of sauce to have with it. Just tax this just a little bit. I can use this as a dipping sauce for my tofu. So you want to get the excess oil off, so put it all onto a paper towel. Put another paper towel on top. Just take the excess oil off. Here we are, tofu and a delicious soy sauce. Ooh, crunchy. Dip it in. Yeah. If you were serving lots of people and you knew you were going to eat all of this, you could pour that over the top, but otherwise, just eat it like this. Crunchy, tasty, and full of protein. Bon appetit.